Top of the morning, top of the morning. Back at it again with another one. And today we're looking at the NASDAQ. So it's Thursday, not Thursday, what am I saying? It's now currently Tuesday. Um, there's no red folder news happening today. We have red folder news though tomorrow. We have FOMC. We're gonna find out if the Fed's gonna be cutting rates or if they're gonna be keeping it consistent as it currently is. But tomorrow we will get our answer. So, and as you all know, as per our protocol today, we weren't really, I mean, not to say that we're taking any live trades this whole month. I'm not taking any live trades, but I was watching, but without the expectation of having anything working out today. Because I went into the day knowing that it's low probability since it's the day before a big three news driver, and of course, it's on a day with no red folder news drivers at all. So, already going into today, I had made allowance in my mind that nothing that I'm going to be seeing is going to really work out. So, I, of course, just marked out a few things just out of curiosity or interest sake, just to see what happens. And I'm going to get into that. But I came to a very solid epiphany today that I just want to speak on, and that's the setup versus the entry. I'll say that one more time. That's the setup versus the entry. The setup is what we need to be going out and looking for, first and foremost. We look for the setup and then we go to a lower time frame to look for confirmation on the entry. One thing that I've just come to the realization that I've been doing is I would more than likely go out and seek an entry. Irregardless of if the setup is valid or if it's not valid, that's what I'd be looking out for. And case in point, as you can see here on screen, that's a solid example of that because uh, setup wise, definitely that comes off of the higher time frame. So 4H, my personal success comes from 4 hourly imbalances. So I'd be looking for an internal range liquidity run. So price hitting a fair value gap, and then my target would be an external range. So be that an old high, old low, or relative equal highs or relative equal lows, which as you can see here, price previously respected this BISI, traded into that, tore up. This was what happened yesterday. We didn't take out that target. That's what we're looking at. The setup yesterday was for us to come into this BISI and then trade up. But actually, what happened is that we came into the BISI, pushed up. We got a reaction off of that 4 hourly SIBI there, and then price pushed through, closed through, and out of the previously bullish fair value gap there. We pushed down towards this low. We kind of did graze it. If you look on this time frame, we didn't get a closure, but the wicks did the damage, and we wicked through it, tapped into that, and then it reversed back up, forming a double bottom. I can already smell the sell stops here, right? So the current setup that we're looking for is for price to go from that inversion fair value gap all the way down towards that double bottom there. We're looking at a movement of about 238 points, not too bad. And then now that's the setup, right? And now when I go to a lower time frame, this is where I'd be looking for the entry. Notice how you see the logic in that, right? We look for the setup on the higher time frame, then we look for the entry on the lower time frame. For me, more often than not, I just go straight to a lower time frame. I'd look for the first liquidity sweep I see and then look for a fair value gap and go down at it from there. And although that criteria for an entry is correct, arguably so, it doesn't always necessarily mean that is the right thing that I should be doing at the time. Because one thing that I need to first consider is not only the draw on liquidity, but the current narrative that's at play in the market for that session or for when I'm looking at the chart. Narrative. Why is price going towards where it's going? Where did prices come from? Where is price now? And where is price most likely to get to? Things of that nature. That's what I need to be considering and following this workflow. Go into a higher time frame, find the draw, find the area, fair value, or the PD area you want to enter from, and then wait for price to go to that area. Once price goes to the area that we're looking to get our entry from, I then go to a lower time frame, look for the entry criteria or my entry pattern, and of course, I take it up from there. So obviously this is something so basic, but you see when you've not been doing something and then it finally hits you like, oh, okay, okay. This is one of those situations. Set up first, then entry criteria, not the other way around. You can't be looking for entry criteria or an entry pattern, whereas the setup itself isn't existent on the chart. And today in particular, like another beef that I have with myself is that I went into the day saying no positions, we are strictly tape reading. And then I found myself impulsively entering positions via the demo account. So just that impulsiveness, that's something I need to personally work on. I will be transparent in saying there is some shit going on in the personal life. I'm very much in need of funds, a lot of funds, quickly and urgently. Hence why I'm pressing so hard on the trading. But like this game or the trading is really something that you really can't be doing that with. Um, that's the last thing that I really need to be doing right now. And I'll just do the internal stock taking on my own part and just make sure that I get that in order. But I didn't like the impulsiveness I had today. I am happy in the sense that I didn't take any live trades. I haven't opened my MT4, I mean my MT5, which is good. I've just been watching, seeing how it moves, how it gyrates, how it reacts to certain things, and two very valuable things that I've picked up today. The first one would be set up first and then entry pattern. Trade set up first and then the entry pattern. That is definitely something that I'm going to be paying more attention to. I'm going to the M5 quickly. Going to the M5. Either this fair value gap there is going to act as support and price is going to keep pushing up, or we're going to close through that, break that low, and then once that's done, I'll be looking forward to price coming back up to that now inversion value gap, and then I'll be targeting that low. This is the setup. Inversion fair value gap down to this double bottom. That's the setup. And then the pattern, of course, or the entry criteria is the 2022 model, as you all know. Nothing new there. So you can even see, man, like earlier on today, I was looking to go short, you know? I was looking to go short to grab that low there, but price hit that first and then began to spool up. I wanted it to see it come back to this area to retest it as an inversion fair value gap. It just kept running and running and running and running, and now you can see where it's at. So I'm just gonna put this here while I'm ranting. Hopefully it acts right and I can take this position while the video is going on. If not, it is what it is really. But I'm gonna remove that, right? So set up entry criteria now. You know, we had a high there, price ran the high. It's coming back now. Like I said, if we get a closure outside of that inversion fair value gap and we check out that low, I'll be looking to enter short, ride it all the way down to there. That's what I'd be looking at doing. But this now, I'm justified in the sense that I can now look for my entry pattern now that I have the setup on the higher time frame. I hope I'm following because I'm gonna rewatch this myself later on, and I just hope like I'm clear enough with myself so that I can transfer this realization because it's really gonna serve us well. Do not focus on the entry pattern. Focus first on the draw, then look for the setup, then look at the entry criteria. The entry is really the least important thing. The main thing is really like the draw. Where is price going to go? Eventually, from where it's at now. You know, I just wanted to get that out there. That's the first thing or major thing that I need to pay attention to. The second thing is, of course, liquidity sweeps. Only look to enter in fair value gaps that form after liquidity sweeps. Be that your fair value gaps, be that the order blocks, look to enter into PD arrays that form after liquidity has been ran. That's the main thing. Main thing. No liquidity sweep, no entry. And above all else, set up first and then the entry, right? Set up first and then the entry. There's really nothing more else I can say on that. Um, Nothing really. Short video, not gonna say much. Nothing much really happened today. Let's look at the calendar real quick. It's it's Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow we have the federal funds rate announcement. Word on the street is that the rate's gonna be cut. Forecast is that it's gonna stay the same at 4.50%. We don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see what Papa Powell is saying, but it's gonna come out quite early. 8 p.m. my time should be about what's that? 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? If I'm not mistaken. Y'all can do the maths. The conversions. These times are in SA Standard Time. Just convert it to Eastern Standard, and you can get the corresponding times through that way. But afternoon session tomorrow. Oh, this should be like about two p.m. and then 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cool. So, afternoon or the AM session tomorrow will probably be low probability or choppy. Regardless, you're gonna pull up, show up, and observe what it does. But the news comes out in the afternoon, or the PM session tomorrow. I'll definitely be watching. I'm gonna take my time to study the FOMCs more, especially on a day here, like where we do not have anything else after that. It's a clean standard two stage price delivery, multiple manipulations. I'll probably dial a video on the protocol for FOMC, and then we'll just do like I'll do the protocol video, and then I'll obviously compare the theory from the video with what actually happened, and then we'll make our conclusions from there. Let me rather say that we'll make the conclusions from there. All right. So tomorrow, that's what's going on FOMC. More so in the afternoon session, nothing really for the AM session. And then Thursday we have unemployment claims. This is at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the AM session will definitely have something for us. I mean, not definitely, of course, but around about that time we can look into watching our charts and seeing how it reacts, of course. And Friday, nothing's really going on. So I expect Friday to be quiet, similar to today. We might get some action tomorrow for the PM session. I don't know what's going to happen for the AM. We'll see, and we might probably get some action as well for the for on Thursday. So pretty light week. We saw what happened yesterday on Monday. We see what's going on today on Tuesday, and now we just wait and see what happens tomorrow Wednesday and as well as on Thursday. So pretty nice, I must just say. Like being able to plan out or time when when opportunity could possibly be in the charts, as opposed to being a chart zombie. It feels so nice to be able to not be chained to a Nasdaq chart. The whole reason why I personally got into this whole thing was freedom. The freedom to do what I want when I wanted, however much I wanted, with whomever I wanted to do it with. Absolute freedom. That is why I got into this, and it's something that I'm still pursuing to this day. Um, yeah, it's always good to remember your why. I hope you also know what your why is and let it be front center on your mind when you're looking at these price charts and such. But with that being said, that's it from my end today. Hopefully, I wasn't breathing too loud into the microphone. I've been struggling with getting the audio quality right. But I think in this particular video we got it right. It would be useful for me to like play the videos first and all of that other stuff, but I just really record off the top, upload, done. As it's fresh, as it comes about, get it on the YouTube, get it into the archives. It's really just for me personally, but like if you end up like watching this as well, good for you. And I hope you can find value in what I'm sharing. If you don't find value, alright, cool, whatever. I am. But someone knocking? No, I thought someone was knocking. Anyway, um, if you're still there up until this point, thank you for following, subscribing, sharing. Let us know in the comments what else you want to see, and above all else, thank God for the skill. See y'all tomorrow.